So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with you going through your 30, 60, 90. Do you have that available on your, I know you're probably, I think you're on your iPad, correct?
I'm on my phone, but I got my iPad with me right here.
Okay. If you can, just want you to kind of go through your 30, 60, 90 with us and speak about that and go over that to start off the interview.
All right. Just so you know, my Tourette's is kind of acting up for some reason, so just excuse me for that. But all right, so I'll start off with my 30-day. First off, I want to go through and just work with Nathan until he leaves, just to kind of see the ins and outs of the job, the do's and don'ts, and what that entails is just kind of seeing what he does on a daily basis. As far as interacting with, I mean, he's my team squad leader, so I kind of know how he interacts, but what he kind of does behind the scenes as far as working with Derek and Victor on behind the scenes on top stuff. And then if I get the position, I want to get to know my squad better. I know a lot of the Texas guys. I don't really know a lot of the Louisiana guys, but just to get to know them on a more personal level, see what they think their strengths and weaknesses are, and kind of help work on those. And then assess what I see as their strengths and weaknesses. And what I mean by that is just, I'd like to have them send an email, what they see their strengths and weaknesses are. This is kind of what I did when I ran like GNC and Foot Locker, and then different aspects that I've led at church. Have each member just kind of tell me that, and then really build on their strengths as far as, helping them reach goals that they set with themselves. But then also whatever their weakness is, see how I can help them improve on that, whether it be, talking to people about sales or certain aspects within their job day to day and what they struggle with, and find better ways to help them make that weakness a strength. And then use my experience with raising my numbers to the top of the region and show them how I did that. What I mean by that is, back at the beginning of the year, I'd fluctuate. I think in last November, I was topping on our team, and then December and January kind of dropped a little. February was a crazy month with the whole licensing thing, but then March, April, May, I really worked my way up in the top 100. I know the June numbers haven't officially came out yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm top 10, top 5 in that. And as I'm sitting right now, I think I was number 2 in the company with the numbers. And basically what I did was just focus on, I picked a couple of areas that I was struggling in and just really worked with Victor and Nathan on some ideas to work my way back up and get those numbers and stay consistent to meet the expectations of the company and of Tommy and also you, Derek. But then also show whoever on my squad is, see where they're at, and show that it can be done, and set a plan with that and how to attain those goals. And then also, still in the 30 days, start teaching and helping the squad to upgrade sales, installs, and personal sales, because that's not only going to help them generate income for their sales, but also for the company, and help obtain repeat customers just through my sales tactics and things of that nature, and then help keep a positive attitude towards situations. I think I put citations, but situations that may arise. I'm a pretty positive person. Anything that happens, I try to see the positive in it and focus on that, and not focus on the negative, whether it be a man or something bad going through. And because I know a lot of people can tend to do that on the team, and it really ruins their day. When you can really turn that into, stay positive, focus on the positive part of it, what you can control, and try to help the situation there. I don't know if y'all have any questions on my 30 days before I go to 60.
No, we'll go ahead. We want you to kind of go through it all and we'll
Gotcha.
kind of bounce back to it here in a little bit. But we just want you to read it all.
I got you. Okay. On my 60-day, continue working with the FSM and trainer, where we're going and what it takes to get there. That just kind of goes with, I think, some things that kind of go behind the scene. I think you'll have squad leader conference calls each week, but just work on that. See where we are as a team. I know we're number one, but we could still, there's things we can do to improve to stay there. With some team members that are, down towards the bottom. See what it's going to take to keep the team, to keep us there, and who needs help in certain areas to keep us as a team in that area. But then also as a we got to look at the bigger picture as a region to keep our region to staying at the top. Continue utilizing my contacts in other areas of the company to help improve our numbers and quality. I reach out to several people across the Texas team just that I've met on Zinc, and then some different people in Leeds and AMI, some contacts I have across there, and with some like Mark Hopper and some trainers, sharing those phone numbers and contacts with people in the squad, and also reaching out to them on a weekly basis just to see if there's anything coming up or if there's any situations that arise, how they can help us fix those, or we don't have those problems come up in the future. And continue to grow in my development as a leader by asking for coaching and tips daily. I do that with Victor and Nathan, just to see, hey, where do you see that I need to improve? I would also do that, with Tommy, with Derek in the squad leader position, and just, I saw on our hub leaderboard, or our hub the other day, that they had this program. I guess it's a coaching type program. I want to get into that and see what that's a little more about. I guess you can get sponsors or something like that where they kind of put you in a program towards advancing your career with Vivint. And so I'm kind of interested in a little more about that, but just asking tips daily from, the team trainer, the FSM, and the regional. Stay organized with note-taking on each squad member and their issues and what they need help to help them achieve their goals. Kind of create a folder, or basically just like in our spiral, day-to-day on, and then the week on the issues that arise with each team member, and follow up at the beginning of the week or the end of the week to see where they are in reaching the goals that they set, or if they're still coming up with the same issue over and over and over. Really documenting it and sitting down with them, hey, you're having the same issue every day, every week. What can we do to get past this issue? And, how I can help to fix that. And as far as the team, follow up with team members to see where they are on their strengths and weaknesses. Provide follow-up on my assessment. That's just basically kind of what y'all do on a monthly basis with us. Hey, this is where you're at. I saw this on the walk, my ride along. Here's a game plan. Let's, check back up in a couple of weeks and see, where you're at on this. Set definable goals by concentrating on no more than 2 of their weaknesses and set a timetable to obtain those goals. A lot of times we get in situations where maybe someone's struggling in 3, 4 areas across, or maybe all the way across the board, and we're like, hey, you just need to jump your way up. But I found that it's easier to concentrate on 1 or 2 goals at a time, reach those goals, set something that's obtainable for that person, and once they reach those goals, continue improving those, but then add a 3rd one, add a 4th one. It's a lot easier that way, because I think if you set, hey, you had to hit all these numbers by this date, I mean, obviously they do, but if they don't hit them, then they feel that they failed, where you can concentrate on 2 of them, hit those 2, and they're going to feel like they're winning, and it's going to make them want to strive more to hit those other 2 goals rather than just kind of check out across the board. And then put in place a coaching moment if a team member is not reaching those, and what will occur if they don't. So I remember as we were transitioning out of Casey into Derek, I think Eric was kind of working with Casey on that, where they we're going to put in you have 3 months to get all your, to reach to be up to company policy, company standards, and, before something happens. And so really put into place those where, hey, this is what you need to obtain. This is what you're going to do to obtain it, and really set up a standard to where, hey, if you're not hitting these goals, then we need to reassess and see, if this is the right place for you, or what we can do to help you hit those goals if you're really trying, and see if they're putting forth the effort to do that. And then reach out to other FSM and leaders that are growing great teams and get some ideas on how we can improve. Yeah, we may be number one, but there's always, like I said, things to do better and ways to stay there. And so reach out to people like not just Eric or Alberto, but other, people across other regions. Get some names of those people and try to see what they're doing to constantly stay at the top and improve our team in certain areas as well. On to the 90 days, rely on other leaders a little bit less. By 90 days in the squad leader position, I should already know what everything is expected of me. Obviously, we're still going to, reach out to other people, but I should definitely know what the position holds and be able to do everything on my own, and be well developed in the role, but like I said, still be able to reach out if needed. Stay positive and ask for feedback and coaching from upper management. That just goes along with that coaching program that I had mentioned earlier. Be working on the career development plan as far as, going to team trainer, FSM. As far as the team, by this time, many of the goals we set should have been achieved. If not, assess why, provide coaching, and give a discipline plan if not trying to reach. So I think there's a difference in if someone's really trying to reach their goals and doing everything in their ability to reach them, and they're not, maybe something's out of their hands with installs not going in or whatever have you. But if they're definitely not trying and they're just doing the same thing and getting the same results, then we really need to find out why they're not reaching those goals and what we need to do to either, poop or get off the pot, I guess you could say. Continue working with team leads to make sure we're all striving for the same goal, and then make Team Invictus known across the event. I think we've made big strides in the last couple of months, and as far as sales, upgrades, and our numbers across the board, people know who Invictus is. I know Derek said that his old boss was calling and like, dang, what the heck are y'all doing? Y'all went from 50 to the top 10 to the top spot. And so just do everything I can do to help keep people wanting to know who the heck Invictus is and what we're doing. And that's kind of my 30, 60, 90-day plan if I was to get the squad leader position.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
What we're going to do is we're going to kind of hold on. I'm getting a lot of backlash from myself.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot.
All right, how's that? Oh no.
Everything sounds fine.
All right, 1 second. Still getting some backlash from me?
Yeah, it's on my end too.
Oh, I'm getting it from you too, Tommy.
Kerry, try to mute. Let's see if that works. Okay, so now I'm talking and there's no
that's
feedback.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, just mute. It may be, I'm not sure if maybe we got two devices open or something possibly, or if it's just the unmuting from either the phone call or the device call or something, but we'll just run it that way. So whenever we just do some speaking, we'll unmute. And when we're not speaking, we will all mute.
Awesome.
Take it away.
Thank you, sir. All right, Kerry, I'm going to start off. What prompted you to apply for the squad leader position?
much things I've been thinking about it. I know back when Casey took over our team, they were going to do some interviews for team trainer. Even when Eric was here, and I had applied for team trainer then, but in talking with Eric, both of us just felt that at the time my numbers weren't where they needed to be to effectively lead the team. And then when Casey came in, they were going to have squad leader interviews, but it ended up not really being interviewed. It was just kind of a point. And so it's always been in the back of my mind. I'm wanting to, when it came around for this time, I know it's time for me to start making my way up the company. And, my numbers have really improved over the last 4 or 5 months. And I just feel that I can be an asset to the team. I've always been in management in every job that I've been in. And I don't know, I just feel that I can bring a lot to the team as far as leadership, positivity. And so when the position came available, I just felt that it was time to step up and help lead this team to where it needs to be.
All right. I will tell you, Kerry, do not think that we're not listening. Tommy and I are both taking notes, so if we kind of pause when you're done and we don't say nothing instantly, give us just a second. We're probably finishing up that sentence that we're typing. What interested you most about this position?
I think just the ability to help others with their career and their job every day as well, but also it's a step up to show you, Tommy, and others that I do want to make a career out of Vivint. I do want to work my way up. I don't want to just be a SHP the whole time, but also, like I said, just to help others succeed in what they're doing on their day-to-day and in their career.
Awesome. How do you go about continuing to develop your professional skills and knowledge?
I think just as I stated in my 30-day is working with other people just to see, different things. I don't know everything about Vivint, but, just calling people when I get stuck in different areas, or even just talking with other people on different teams, like, hey, what are you doing day to day? What do you do in this situation? And so it's always just on the day to day growing and going. You can't grow if you don't ask people, if you don't work with everything. I can always remember Eric saying, especially when the Sky Panel came out, he had no idea what was going on, but he studied it. He worked every day to try to learn the Sky Panel. And it's the same thing with the different equipment that come out and the different ins and outs of our daily job. Just trying to learn more and more stuff every day, so I can improve what I'm doing at a customer's house and make a customer feel more safe and more secure with when I walk into their house every day.
All right. Tell me about a time you set a difficult goal and what you did to achieve them.
All right. Well, just at the first 2 years, I can remember when we found out Casey was leaving and they were going to be interviewing for the FSM position. It was something I was interested in. Spoke with a couple of people, even spoke with Eric. And, like I said, at the time, my numbers weren't where they needed to be. And then talked to Casey too. And but I think I was probably sitting around 200 in the rankings. I just wasn't consistent across the board. And I can remember sitting in a hotel in Lufkin when I was down there working, and I was just like, you know what, this is crazy. I've been here almost 2 years. I need to put myself in a position to where if this was to come open again, that, they can't say no to Kerry. And so I set that date. From that day forward, hey, I'm going to work my numbers up. I know it's not all about numbers, but that's just a big part of what is visibly seen across the company, as far as the person day in and day out work. And I set a goal to work my way up on the board, and just make my name known across the company. I think I did that with where my numbers are right now, and with that contest we had with the sales. I'm a very vocal, friendly person, I guess you could say, and so my goal was to, first it was to be in the top 100, then the top 50, and then I was shooting for the top 25. And when you're sitting down around 200, 300, 400, it looks like an unachievable goal. And I planned on doing that by the end of the year, but just going in every day with a positive attitude and taking care of the customer day in and day out, and not settling for where I was able to achieve that goal.
Awesome. Now, this next question is kind of a little follow-up. Give me 3 examples of exceeding expectations. And when I say that, it doesn't have to be work-related. It could be personal and or work-related. But just 3 examples of exceeding the expectations that you've set for yourself.
Three expectations that I exceeded. Okay, well, one, when we had that, they announced in June the sales competition. Sorry, they announced it in May, but it was for May and June. A goal I set was to be in the top 5 in personal sales, or BAMIs, whatever you want to call them. And I know I exceeded that goal. I'm either going to be number 3 or number 4 in that competition. And that was a big goal, not only for the extra commission that came in, but just out of 1,000 SHPs across the company, to be in the top 5 is a big deal, but to be in the top 3, that was really more than I had thought would be. Another exceeding expectation, I think would be, I set my goal to be top 25 by the end of the year. I know things can still always go up or down, but I was able to, top 10 for June, and like I said, right now I'm in the top 5. So I think that would be the second exceeding the expectations. Third expectation that I've exceeded in, I would just say is, as far as for a physical standpoint, I set out 2 years ago, really. I think when I started with Vivint, I was about 180 pounds, which, I mean, it's not that big, but I wanted to get around 165, 170 and be a little more toned up. And I've hit that expectation. I'm right around 168 right now, and I'm starting to see more definition. And my goal and expectation was to just start eating clean and doing the same thing with my wife, helping her with that as well. And we both hit that expectation. We've been eating clean this whole year, and I've really seen a lot more tone and definition. That was just more for a physical. And I kind of went through a fourth one in with that. It's more of a financial. We started a budget 2 years ago to start being debt-free. And this year we've been able to pay off 4 hospital bills that were on our list. And so that was a big exceeding expectations that when we started this, we really didn't think we'd be able to hit. But we've been able to pay off a lot of debt, and that was a big exceeding expectations for us as a family. Just the financial, being able to budget and stick to it.
All right. All right. How do you feel about taking no for an answer?
I'm a salesman, so no is really not an option. I've always been that way. Like, when I worked in shoes, I mean, add-ons was a big thing for us. And so, I mean, I'm going to start big and work my way down until, you know, I've actually exhausted all expectations. I mean, I've sold a can of shoe cleaner to someone that bought a chin strap for a football helmet. And so it's just a matter of, I don't take no. When, you know, different positions came available and in different companies, and I was so, well, no, not at this time. I didn't give up. I kept pushing for those and always met those goals that I had set. And so that's where I'm at right now, even with Vivint. Like, you know, when the team trainer, when Patrick first got it back on Eric's team, I wasn't really told no, but really not at this time. And then same thing when you got the position here, Derek, and other squad leaders, you know, Brian and Nathan got those. I don't take that as a no. I take it as not right now. So that was another. That's why kind of why we're having this interview today, because I'm not taking no as an answer. I'm going to push for where I want to be, and my ultimate goal is to be at FSM. And so I want to keep doing what I can do to where they can't tell me no.
All right. As a leader, how do we step up and take over a situation when an SHP calls you with a very upset customer that is being demanding? So I'm going to kind of role play a little bit here. Not really role play, but give you an example. One of your guys on your squad calls you and says, hey, have a customer that is upset. They've been told that they're going to get these cameras for free, and we're not showing it, and the customer says if they don't get the cameras for free that they're going to cancel the install. How do we go about, as a leader, what steps do we take to make the customer happy and get that family protected?
Well, the first step is to, I mean, not point blame when you're in front of the customer. You know, make sure that whoever the team member is not saying, well, I'm not seeing it, and so it must have been you know, the salesman messed up, yada yada. And then we're going to call customer loyalty. We're going to call AMI if it's an install. We're going to call AMI and try to talk to that salesman and do whatever we can to. I mean, outdoor cameras, I don't know that I've seen where those have been given free, but you know, things happen a lot of times, and so we're going to keep the customer calm. You know, at least let the customer know that we're going to call the salesman. We're going to call AMI and talk to them and see what we can do about, if maybe not the camera free, rolling it around where we can maybe get an equal value of sensors or close to that to help the customer out. But we're always going to let the customer know we're on their side. Obviously, you know, the saying is customer's always right. Sometimes they're not, but we're going to do what we can to talk to the salespeople, talk to the sales team, work with them, and see if what we can get for them. And if they're not satisfied with that, then the next step is going to be call the FSM and get him involved. Have him call the salespeople, the sales team, and you know, I mean, if it's an indoor camera, I know that those are a little bit easier to talk our sales team into doing. Outdoor cameras, not so much, but I'm going to do everything I can to let that customer know that we're on the phone. We are working on their behalf to get those taken care of for them so that we can get that install to go in. But the ultimate thing is having the SHP stay calm and, you know, not argue with the customer, not say, nope, it's not going to happen, but do everything that he can to keep the customer calm and believing in our product and in our company.
Awesome. Little follow-up to that one. What will you do when the job is complete as far as talking to the SHP?
I would just have them say, evaluate, from when the customer said, this is what I want or no, and the point that they called me, and just instruct them that, hey, you have the ability to call AMI. You have the same ability to keep the customer happy. And depending on, some people are going to keep the positive attitude with the customer. Some are not. Depending on which way they went. If they had the positive attitude, congratulate them on that. But then also give them the power. Hey, you can call AMI, but if they had the negative attitude, just coach them on, hey, we got to stay positive because you're Vivint. You're the only Vivint that the customer's actually seeing. Yeah, they've talked to someone on the phone, and they're taped off right now, but you're the face of Vivint that they're seeing face to face, and coaching them on, hey, you have to be positive and let them know that you're doing everything you can to protect their home and family, and that they can trust you with their house, and with whatever you're putting in. And if you have a bad attitude, they're not so sure. But if you're staying positive and doing everything, even if they can't get the camera, chances are they're still going to stay with Vivint because of the customer service that you gave them from start to finish. Sorry, it's trying to ask me a bunch of questions here. Hold on a minute. It's trying to.
Awesome. No, that's good stuff there. Now what we're going to do is we went over your 30, 60, 90. We went over my questions. We're going to open the floor up to Tommy. I know that he's got some questions, and we're going to let Tommy go ahead and start on those questions.
All right. Okay. Real quick here. All right, man. First question for me. Who was the lowest person on the last scorecard that you guys received, and what would you do with them to improve?
The last person on the scorecard. I didn't get to see the last one at the very bottom because it was way down. Is it all right if I pull that up real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Pull it up. Monday. Well, it is no longer on my my email, but I can use one as an example. I know that David and Eric have been towards the bottom. Sorry, for some reason my emails, I got a lot deleted when I switched over to this iPad this week. David and Derek have been towards the bottom, and I know Eric, not Derek, sorry. I know that Eric was in the top 50 on the last scorecard, so I'll just use David for example. I tend to think that David spends a lot of time overthinking jobs, spends a lot of time on jobs, and I think when he gets there, I've been on a couple of jobs with him, and he jumps around a lot. Let's just say an install, for instance. He'll talk with a customer way too much, and then when it comes time to put up the panel, he'll get the panel put up, and then he may add a sensor, but then he'll go add a doorbell camera, and then he'll come back and add a sensor, and then he'll add this and that. He just jumps all over the place. He doesn't have a game plan. And so I think that's the issue with David. When he gets to a job, he doesn't look at his jobs ahead of time, so he has no game plan when he gets there. So I would help David develop a game plan day to day. So if he starts on a Wednesday, I want to talk to him Monday or Tuesday. Hey, this is what you have this week. Let's game plan for each of those jobs. Yeah, they may change to someone else, but at least you know ahead of time, hey, Wednesday I've got to go to Hallsville and potentially do a panel swap. Okay, assess that panel swap. Okay, when you go in, what are you going to do first? Are you going to reboot the panel? are you gonna and just kind of game plan with him. Second job, oh, the customer is having issues with his outdoor camera. Okay, do you have an outdoor camera? Do you have some gaps? Maybe it's too far. But just help him get a game plan from job to job, what he's going to do each day, and I think that would really help David really grow in in his numbers. I think his biggest hang-up is he has no game plan and not really a drive when he gets there. So really help him just focus on a couple of areas and get a game plan for his week. And I think that would help him tremendously jump in the scorecard.
Okay. Thank you. So for things like that, just a little follow-up, how many people have you done things with in the past like that?
I have done that with Cordero, because I know I kind of did some training with him, so did Dustin. He kind of jumped around on the training. But when he first got on his own, he was kind of the same way where he wouldn't look ahead of time. And so I really worked with him on, hey, look at what you're doing a couple of days ahead of time. Know what you got to do. I did the same thing. Well, I kind of helped train Dustin too, and just told him, hey, you got to know what you're doing several days ahead of time. I know I put that on Zinc a lot. Hey, guys, because we had several people who would, the day of an install, oh, I don't have this. And, I would just really push out there, hey, we got to know what you're doing 2 or 3 days out, so you know that you have the parts, or that if you see that what the customer is wanting is not in the fix, that, hey, we need to get this customer moved around, et cetera, et cetera. So there has been a couple, Cordero, Dustin, off the top of my head, when they first started, in a couple of weeks, that that's what I gave them as a game plan. Just knowing your job ahead of time.
Okay, thank you. Who have you reached out to get better and improve personally and professionally? Go into a little bit of detail on that. And this is about you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying this is about you.
Okay, gotcha. I know when I first started, the teams were totally different. When I first started, I really worked with obviously Sergio. Nathan Davenport was here at that time. I talked with him a lot as far as different things that I ran into. Sergio was real good on the upgrade part, and so also he was my trainer. But as far as doing that, that's who I really worked with. I talked with Aurelio a lot as far as just day-to-day. For some reason, air conditioner stuck out to me with Aurelio. I don't know if it was just team meetings that we had that he was talking about it a lot. So he really helped me out with thermostats a lot. I talk to him still on not really a monthly basis, but periodically, just checking in. But if I have issues with thermostats, I would either call him or James at the time, because James did a lot with thermostats. But other than that, as far as just day-to-day stuff, Victor, he's very knowledgeable. I work with him a lot when I come into different scenarios. I can't really just pinpoint one with him. But I still, I reach out to O'Brien. O'Brien's got a lot of knowledge as far as across the board, and with takeovers. I know I've had to reach out to him a couple of times on some takeover issues that I had that I wasn't really familiar with. So I've talked to O'Brien a lot. But other than that, as far as reaching out to people, those are the ones that I talk to with different scenarios. I mean, I talk to a lot of people just on a day-to-day, weekly basis across Zinc that we've just ran in contact with each other. Darren Shokram is his name. We just chit-chat a bunch about, different things at work. but not necessarily a particular instance.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna have a follow up if you didn't mention anybody from outside of here, because I know good and well that you talk to a lot of people outside of our region. So thank you for mentioning Darren at least. Um, okay, what motivates you, and what are your true passions?
My true passion is leadership, really. Like I say, everywhere um, I've been in management, even with church activities, I've been in leadership positions. Um, I'm a I personality. Um, Being around people motivate me. Being able to help people motivate me. Um, when I was with GNC and Foot Locker, I was able to push out several different managers from within my store. Um, and you know, um, just being able to help people really motivates me. I mean, I think that's why I'm so good in sales, um, because I mean, I believe in our product, and I'm able to sell it to people that I know. Uh, but so I guess with that, money is a motivator as well. I mean, I don't know anybody that's not motivated by money, um, and so that really pushed. I mean, why would you not sell a system to make $400? I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. If you can just talk to people. I mean, I know a lot of people can't do that, but to me, that's a big motivator. But leadership is really my passion. I like being able to help people and like I said, help them with what they're doing.
What is code?
Food is basically being there for your brother. Um, I can't cite the um, I can't cite it exactly, but I know that it's basically just being there for each other, holding each other accountable, helping each other out when they need help. I know you're going to say, "Come on, man," but I can't remember the acronym exactly what it is. Caring, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
All right. You got one. I'll let you know that. You were 1 for 1, so you got that one. Vivid values. How many can you name?
This values, man. I know them, but I can't recite them. I know that's probably not something you want to hear, but I know that I can't, like, if I hear a couple of them, I can go through them, but I don't know them being able to recite them.
Okay, not a problem.
Not a problem.
Yeah, there we go. I was about to say I didn't want to start talking again, and then we get that feedback. Okay. So one of my questions uh, that I have. Let me get your 30, 60, 90 back up here. 1 second. I did have a couple of questions about that. So one of my questions about this is, out of all of the details that you have here, you have self and team listed in a lot of this here. For on the team side, how would you say you've done as far as already doing these things, what would you say your success rate has been as far as from a leadership perspective, looking at it and saying, okay, these are the things that I would do as a squad leader or as a leader at all. Have you been doing those things? And also, what do you see as far as your success rate on how it's gone for you?
You said as a team. I mean, I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. When Derek took over, um, I was told that I not by Derek, but that I try to assert myself too much, and I try to take over, and so I needed to step back. And so probably since March, I have not been as vocal as I was when Casey and Eric was here. And the reason I was told that you know I was being looked at and could be easily replaced, not replaced, but it wasn't a good sign that I was as vocal and as leadery as I was, and so I haven't been as vocal since then on Zinc and reaching out to people. I do still help people where I can. People call me all the time with questions that they have, and you know, even Brian, Victor, Nathan, they all call with different questions. I'm always there to help them out. So as far as my success rates recently, I have not coached as many people on different things. Previously, before that, I would talk to, I don't know why I haven't, but the Shreveport guys, I have not talked to them as much. But as far as East Texas guys, I did work with Dustin. I did work with Nathan before as a squad leader with, hey, this is, what do you need help with? What do you need? What can I do for you? And even Brian and Victor when they needed it. But I did always try to reach out to them, find out where they needed help, and when they called and asked me, hey, what are you doing in this scenario? What are you doing to make this work? Giving helps, giving tips on what I'm doing to improve my daily work. I guess I do have one. Cordero has been struggling with not getting personal sales, and with me posting Bammy here, Bammy there, he reached out to me, hey, what are you doing? How can I, get on the Bammy train per se? And I kind of gave him some tips, and he's got potentially two sales pending that could go in this week or early next week. And he used those tips, he said, to get those to go in. And so that's really the only scenario I have recently that has benefited someone on the team.
Okay. And then my last one is, why do we need you in this position to take the team to new heights?
I think I've proven that I can raise my numbers up, and that I can do what it takes to, like I say, I know it's not all about the numbers, but that's just what's seen across the company, and that's what we're judged on or evaluated on. And I feel that I can do the same thing with those that are not in the top 10, the top 20, the top 100, 200, even the top 500, and work with them to do the same thing. I'm one of the more outgoing people on this team. I don't have a problem talking or working with anybody, and I can also take criticism and take ownership of different things and turn that from a negative to a positive. I know it's hard for a lot of people to do, and I don't have a problem doing that.
All right. those are all my questions. Derek, you can take it away.
All right, thank you, sir. So basically what we're going to do now, Kerry, is we're just going to kind of open it up for a little bit of question time and basically ask, do you have any questions for us or anything like that?
I just think a couple of questions that I have would be, I know you sent out a brief synopsis, that's a big word for the day, of what the job entails. And you know what you do on a day-to-day basis. And I think my big question would be, what is the biggest expectation of this position? I mean, obviously you sent out the day-to-day basis, but on a from a FSM and a regional standpoint, what is the overall goal and expectation of this position inside this team?
Okay. So basically what it is it's kind of good you asked that, because I was going to kind of go on a little about some stuff, but basically what it is Vivint has a culture of building leaders. So as a squad leader, your job is to help the guys that are on your squad to want to progress and want to better themselves. Okay, now we're always building leaders, and we may not be building a leader for Vivint. We may be doing the work and building a leader for another company at one point in time, and that's okay, because we know that at Vivint we had a detrimental hand in the process of building that leader to go on to the other company, if that's what they so choose to do. But obviously we want to build our leaders. So as a squad leader, you are a leader to your guys, okay? And you are underneath, more or less chain of command wise, you're underneath the team trainer. Team trainer is underneath the FSM, okay? So ultimately the FSM is got the team trainer. The team trainer is working to know the FSM's job, right? So as a squad leader, you're going to be leading a team of guys and being a leader and working towards becoming a team trainer and a FSM. So what it is for our team that I'm looking for the squad leaders to do is to be able to help the team trainer and myself to be a leader and to develop each person into what they want to be. Okay, so if we're talking, let's take, for example, I'm just going to use random names here. Let's take Jimmy. And Jimmy is in the field and he's asking his squad leader, hey, I'm failing at this, or I see that I'm doing bad at this. As a squad leader, we are expected to say, okay, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what's going on. Let's make sure this is getting done, and let me help you fix what is wrong. Okay? Everyone on the team knows that as the FSM, there's a lot of things that I'm doing that I can't get to you directly, instantly on. Per se, I'm on calls, or, I'm taking care of some business as far as talking with Tommy and things like that. I can't answer a phone call right now. Like, for example, on this interview, I've gotten like 7 or 8 text messages that I can't get to 100% because I'm worried about what's going on with you and I want to do the best interview for you. So as a squad leader and team trainers, I want them to be able to kind of step in and say, hey, I understand Derek's taking care of this. I'm going to help you out, and I'm going to take care of it with you, and I'm going to do all that I can. Now, unfortunately, there's times where we reach limits as squad leaders and team trainers that we just can't go any further as far as helping out, and then that's where I come in. But to kind of round it all back out, it's, as a squad leader, we're building leaders, right? So we want to empower each person on the team to themselves, We want them to understand that they have the power to do the best that they can do, and we want to help develop that.
I got you. And so I guess my other question would be, are you looking at mixing the teams up some, keeping them the same? I mean, yeah, just kind of, are the teams going to remain the same, or are you looking to change it up a little bit?
In this process of deciding on a squad leader, that is going to be something that is very, very well looked at, because I want to make sure that we are kind of matching up people in the squads to work to our advantages. We want to make sure that we're building a great team, which we have and we will continue to do. So that is a possibility. I can't say that's exactly what's going to happen. That's just something, as well as doing these interviews, that we're going to make that decision as far as maybe changing up or keeping it the same. But once the position is announced and is accepted by the candidate that's had the best interview and things like that, we will kind of look at that and see if we need to make some changes.
Other than that, that was the only questions that I really had. Everything else was kind of self-explanatory as far as the position and the the expectations. So you cleared that up very well.
Thank you, thank you. So basically, Tommy, do you have anything else, sir?
No, I do not. Other than thank you for the questions, answers, the efforts, and the 30, 60, 90 and everything. And we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All righty. Again, Kerry, I'm going to finish up by saying we do appreciate it. I know that you're out helping Brian on a big install, so we appreciate you taking the time and being involved and wanting to be involved in the leadership of Team Invictus. We have a great opportunity in front of us, and we appreciate you wanting to step up and be a leader. So we will be making a decision here. Tommy and I will be talking about it, and I know that it was asked. We will be making that decision as quickly as possible, with taking everything into consideration, and we will be getting back to those to each one of y'all that have applied, and giving y'all an answer as soon as we can, and it should be no later than end of week.
All right, that sounds great, sir.
All righty, thank you for your time, sir.
All righty, thank you for your time, sir. All right, y'all too.
Later.